What's up guys, my name is Stoody and I'd like to welcome you all back to another video, and in today's video I'm going to be exposing the CEO of Big Ant Studios named Ross Symons or Symons, whatever it is, I honestly don't care, for being a cyberbully and also a few other more shady things. Now the first thing that's shady about Ross is the fact that he works with Dean Mill or Dean Malay, however the hell it's pronounced, also known as Twisty3. Now, I don't really want to go into in-depth everything about Twisty3 that makes him a disgusting human being, but I will say I do have real life beef with him, and long story short, he put a restraining order on me back in 2018 because I made a diss track on him, pretty much. So basically, there's a little bit more to it than that, to be fair. He's also scared of me because I have inside information on him. Includes illegal things he has done on the internet, and also includes people in real life who have known him in real life becoming friends with me and have told me that he likes to have really loud parties in the middle of the night and harass his neighbors. So that's just a little bit of it. Also, Dean over the years has cyberbullied me. He uses his fan base to harass other people, including me. I actually quit YouTube one time because his fan base wouldn't stop harassing me. So basically what he does is that he is too scared to do the dirty work himself. He gets other people to do the dirty work for him. So he hides behind his fans. He'll hide behind Ross, that's for certain. And he also hides behind the police, giving them false police reports. If you'd like to hear more about Twisty3, I have a video called My Legal Issues Story Time. I'll put a link to that in the description and you'll be able to learn that situation. Now, I'm always sus of anyone who collabs with someone like Twisty3, and Ross apparently has been hanging around Dean since he was in high school, which is a little bit weird, but whatever. But don't worry, things are gonna get even fucking weirder. So to everyone who keeps crying in the comments asking me about why I hate Dean, there's a little short reason. But I could really go into depth and end his career if I have to. But I'm not going to do that because Dean hasn't actually done anything to me directly since the restraining order ended / was put on me that has really affected me. So at least as far as I know. But I definitely do think that he would have talked to Ross about me. Especially considering I am the #1 ranked player on AFL Evolution 2, the previous AFL game. Also, I'm one of the most known people in the AFL community, so I definitely would have been considered to be invited to that event. I'm sure Dean would have blacklisted me, whether that was recently or 5+ years ago. He would have blacklisted me for sure. But anyway, it's come to my attention that people have been talking shit about me on a forum. Now, to any of you non-boomers out there, basically forums are what people used to use back before social media was a thing. You know, I'm talking late 90s to early 2000s, but for some reason, there's a whole bunch of people in the AFL community who actually use a forum called Big Footy. Basically, it's just where nuffies go on there, talk absolute shit about footy. Australia has always been like 20 years behind the rest of the universe, and it's pretty certain AFL fans are also 20 years behind the rest of the universe. I'm pretty sure I did make a Big Footy account a while back when I discovered people were shit talking me. Probably a year or two ago, but honestly I don't remember the credentials to it. I may or may not make an account just so I can reply to some of these ridiculous comments. But the thing is, I'm very old school, but I'm not a big enough boomer to use forums. You know, I use social media like any normal person in 2023. You know, these forums, there's a lot of boomers on these forums as well, but there's also a lot of people that are around my age or even younger on these forums, which is bizarre. And there's literally accounts that comment on these forums that are like 20 fucking years old, because it always has like when the account was created on the profiles or whatever. So yeah, these are probably a mixture of 60-year-olds and 15-year-olds commenting shit. And no wonder Aussies are so feral. You know, the younger Aussies are so feral because obviously the older Aussies are extremely feral as well. Now it's come to my attention that Ross from Big Ant Studios, quote unquote, roasted me in these forums. Now, it's as simple as looking up Stoody on Google to find this shit. People don't seem to realize that talking shit about me behind my back doesn't come back to me. It does. I'm constantly looking, whether that be on Twitter, Instagram, Discord. You know, all you gotta do is look up keywords and you can find things. I just looked myself up on Google and this big footy page comes up. Now, obviously, people on there talking shit about me, it's whatever. You know, they're just nobody's running their mouths. And then all of a sudden, Big Ant Studios, Ross from Big Ant Studios, decided to leave a little comment about me. Now, here's what he said. Let alone the AFL, I have no fucking idea who this guy is. Honestly, I had no idea what NFI meant, but I'm assuming that's what it means. It makes sense in this comment, at least. Never heard of him. We know you're talking shit about that, Ross. There's no way that you don't know who I am. I'm one of the bigger YouTubers in the AFL community. Also, I am the #1 ranked player on the previous AFL game. Not only that, you have fucking Dean sucking you off all the time. Dean cried to the cops about me over a fucking diss track. There is no way he hasn't mentioned me at some point in time. He then says, but not watching or pressing play on anything he does until his mum makes his bed. Not watching or pressing play. Mate, you had to have watched it or pressed play on it to actually see my bed, because you couldn't have fucking seen it from the thumbnail because the thumbnail didn't show it. Oh, and what kind of loser actually makes their bed? Like, it's just a waste of time. All you're going to do is, you know, go back into bed that same night. Like, who does it? It's just stupid. The only time I ever do it is if, you know, there's like a good reason for it, like a special occasion. Maybe once every few weeks it might happen. I've been getting a lot of those kind of comments, so that's my response to all those comments, is I haven't bothered responding to any. But here's the part that really pissed me off. Had he have just left it at that, I would have said he's unprofessional and a bit childish. But now he's definitely a cyberbully and a complete and utter cunt. He mentioned my mum. Now, first off, there's a certain line you do not cross, whether it's online or in real life, and that is if you have beef with anyone or anything like that, you don't mention people's family members or bring them into it. Ross 100% has crossed the line right there. Now, he's lucky this is just over the internet, because when people cross the line in real life, that's when we're throwing down. And if he had said that to me if we were in the same room in person, he would have crossed that line. Therefore, we would have been throwing down. I would have beat the shit out of him. Just look at him. He's like 60 fucking years old. But I highly doubt Ross would actually say that to my face, because he's a pussy. Just like his mate Twisty, also a pussy. Literally got his mates to message me to threaten me back in the day before he did this bullshit restraining order. Now, that particular comment is definitely cyberbullying. Like, there's no other way of looking at it. And the thing is, when you're the CEO of a big company, he's also the founder of the company. I did some research on him, which I'll get into in a minute. But when you're the CEO, and also there's a lot of little kids that are going to be playing this game and are going to look up to Ross, there's also a lot of little kids that aren't aware of Dean at all, because Dean's very good at looking like a nice guy on camera. It's very easy to be a nice guy on camera. Just because someone seems nice in videos doesn't mean they're actually nice in real life, believe me. Now, these little kids obviously are going to look up to Ross. Not only that, but adults as well. When someone like that is cyberbullying someone, that's going to encourage other people to do the same. They're like, oh, look at this. The CEO of Big Ant is cyberbullying this guy, or said this about this guy. That's cool. I guess that's cool. You know, let's do it ourselves. So what he's doing here is he's encouraging people to do the same. You know, he's creating more cyberbullies. Look at one of these responses. Rumor has it he ate his mum. So another fucking comment about a family member which crosses the line. Now, I don't know if that comment's meant to be a fat joke or possibly a sexual joke, because eating can mean multiple things, but whether it's a fat joke or a sexual joke, it's still cyberbullying. If it's sexual, that can be seen as sexual harassment. But I'm going to assume it's a fat joke for this. Surely it's not a sexual joke, because that'd be absolutely fucked. Someone else also replied with, I heard they ate each other. And then someone else wrote, if he becomes world champion of AFL 23-2, hopefully you guys can present to him with new quilt covers. His current ones have stained since the time True Blue presented him with his last lot. Now, I don't know what he's talking about. None of my quilt covers are stained. Now, I don't know where's his proof. Like, if you're going to make up accusations, you've got to at least show evidence. Because if you don't show evidence, then that's slander, and you can be taken to court for that, son. And you can see Ross is literally doing the lol emojis to some of these harassing comments. So Ross obviously condones cyberbullying and cyberbullies people himself. Not only that, he works with a cyberbully named Twisty3. Alright, now this is a picture of Ross. So as you can see, he's pretty old, you know, and I've done some research on him. Now I didn't find out his exact age as I was trying to do, but basically from what I've seen is that he started coding in the late 70s, meaning he's probably born in the early to mid 60s, making him around 60 or so years old. That's where I've got that conclusion. But who knows, he could be 70, he could be 50. I doubt he's 70, he doesn't look 70. But he's probably around the 55 to 65 age range. Now this is a 60 or so year old man cyberbullying people on the internet. This guy clearly is not a good guy. And he hasn't been his whole life. He's obviously done some messed up things to get in the position to where he is. A position of power. Here's another fact about him that you guys probably wouldn't have known about, but for some weird reason, Ross Symons, the CEO of Big Ant Studios, probably makes plenty of money from being CEO of a company like that. He works as a director at an all-girls school. Like, what? You know, that's kind of really random and very, very weird. You know, I'm kind of suspicious of that, to be honest with you. Knowing his character, obviously, isn't very good. He shouldn't have any reason to feel the need to have a second job. Unless he has like a daughter that goes to that school, but to be fair, he's probably a bit old to have a daughter, maybe a granddaughter, but it still feels like he's a bit young to have a granddaughter. I don't know. I did look up that particular school to see if it was a high school or a primary school, and it looks like it's both, which I don't know how schools work in Victoria, but yeah, I don't know if he works with high schoolers or primary schoolers. Another thing is that he has been working there for 9 years, according to this website. So I really do question why he works at an all-girls school when he's a man who owns a fucking company like Big Ant. And it's pretty well-known, a well-known company around Australia and across other countries as well, such as England, India, you know, the cricket kind of countries. This guy has to be pretty cashed up already. I don't see why he would feel the need to do a job like that. Now you guys probably might be realizing where I'm getting at here. I kind of want to know why he's working at this all-girls school. I find it a bit weird. But then again, there could be nothing to it. Maybe he just likes fucking doing it for some reason. I don't know. But just wanted to put that out there. It's a bit random, bit weird, but it's whatever. Anyway, to include this video, basically the reason why Ross decided to do this is because he couldn't handle criticism that I was giving him. Kind of a bit like Twisty3, you know, he can't handle any criticism either. Because I've seen him crack the shits when other randoms have given him negative comments. Ross stoops as low as to bring my family members into this. You know, I wouldn't do that to him, nor would I do that to anyone. All I was doing was criticizing his game. If I am going to be paying $80 to $90 to buy the game, I have every right to criticize it. To be honest with you, I really hope Ross does actually shit the bed on this game. So I have plenty to complain about, and he looks like an idiot. At the end of the day, the only reason why I'm even buying this game is so I can do streams, get a heap of viewers, subscribers, all of that onto my channel, so I can, you know, set a platform for later years if I continue YouTube or whatever, outside the AFL community, outside the gaming community at least, because I definitely don't want to be playing any more Big Ant Studios games after learning what the CEO is like. I feel kind of shit about the fact that I'm going to be spending $80 or $90, earning this guy a bit of profit just for some views and for some subs, but yeah, in the long run it might be worth it for my channel. Now if this game does end up being good, I will give credit, but my hopes aren't very high. I think it's going to be bad for the most part. There may be some good parts about the game, but you know, after seeing this event night footage and all that, I'm not very excited. I'm not excited for the game itself, I'm just excited for streaming. I'm just excited for April 13th streaming. I have the day off. I plan on streaming pretty much all day, and I'm just looking forward to seeing you all in the stream. I'm not actually looking forward to playing the game. That's the crazy thing. So yeah, please don't ask me any more questions about Twisty3. I really don't want to have to like make a fucking exposed video on him, because all that's going to do is make him lose his shit or whatever. If I want to deal with Dean, I want to deal with him another way. Believe me, Dean is a complete psychopath. There's no getting through to him. You can't have a normal conversation with him. He just believes he's in the right. He's going to deny everything he's ever done wrong. So there's really no point when it comes to Dean. And I'm going to be predicting that Ross is the same. Ross does definitely owe me an apology for what he's done. If he does actually apologize for it, I'll probably let it slide, right? So it's like, all right, he's said something stupid on the internet. I'll forgive him, but if he does it again, then that won't be acceptable. But here's the thing, if he doesn't apologize and if he just ignores this, I know he'll see the video. Believe me, I know he will see this because I'm going to tweet it to him. And even if I didn't tweet it to him, someone would send it to him anyway. If he just ignores this, or if he tries to defend himself, if he tries to act as if he did nothing wrong, then I'm going to tear him to shreds at any opportunity. Whether he does something else that's stupid, or whether he makes a terrible game. If I don't get an apology, then, you know, Ross, you've made an enemy out of me. But if he does give me an apology, realizes he's being a bit of a dick, then fine. You know, I'll let it slide. But anyway, I guess that's it for this video. I hope you've enjoyed this video. Don't forget to subscribe for more content like this. Be sure to click the thumbs up button and leave a like on this video. Also, be sure to join my Discord server. It is called Australian Sports Community. Link to that is in the description. Also, be sure to subscribe to my second YouTube channel. It is called Stoody Archives. Link to that is also in the description. Also, be sure to follow me on my other social media accounts. I have Instagram, I have Twitter, and I also have TikTok. The username for all of those is StoodyYT, and links to all of those will also be in the description. I hope you've had a good day, and I'll see you all in the next video.